Welcome to day 4. Okay, so last time we identified the different types of relationships, and today we're going to identify how to problem solve within those relationships.
Thank you. In life, differences of opinions arise, and problem solving becomes a life skill, a necessity of life. There are 3 types of problem solving approaches. Collaborative. Collaborative means that we work together for mutual gain. It requires that we have high levels of creativity in order to get the optimum outcome. And in the end, everybody wins.
Okay, so like for an example, in a volleyball situation, you have an athlete who may not be playing as much as she wants to. The collaborative way of problem solving would be for the coach, the athlete, the parents to sit down, identify the reasons maybe why this athlete's not playing as much as they would like to, and then coming up with a plan together in order for that athlete to gain the ability in order to earn that play time. So at the end, everybody has worked hard, they've all come together to problem solve, and that athlete is ultimately hopefully getting what they want, the more play time, but doing it in a way that they're earning it, they deserve it.
Everyone wins. That's collaborative. And by the way, collaborative is the only approach that allows us to have synergistic relationships. Now let's compare that to adversarial approaches, which is the most common approach in society. Adversarial approaches happens when everybody's operating out of self-interest. It's the power game. The one who has the most power wins. And there's lots of different types of power. There's position power, the coach has position power, the parents have position power, there's situational power, there's knowledge power, there's all kinds of power that people can use. And when people use power to win, it's all about self-interest. And the problem with that is there's big winners and big losers. Somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose.
Okay, so in the same example, what you're saying is, I'm a coach and the player is not playing, and maybe I'm, as a coach, enforcing my power and saying, well, you're just not good enough and you're not going to play because you haven't earned it. And so I can enforce that. Maybe as a player, from their perspective, they're saying,
that's
hey,
my choice as a coach.
Yep.
So who wins?
Yeah, I win for sure. And so as an athlete, the coach isn't playing me, and it's not because of me, it's because the coach is a jerk. The coach doesn't know anything. As a parent, maybe I say, well, my kid's not playing, I'm not going to pay my bill.
Well, you can see how in adversarial relationships or adversarial approaches that relationships are damaged. Now, compromise is the third approach. Compromise is when people lower their expectations and make concessions in order to come to some type of agreement. The problem is, as soon as you make a compromise, the best option that you would get out of collaborative has gone out the window. The best options are gone because compromise is a step down. Compromise allows you to have an acceptable win or an acceptable loss. It is not a big win on either side, so it's a low win or a low loss on both sides. People will do that for 2 reasons. People will compromise in order to sustain a relationship, okay, or to minimize losses. If I know I can't win, then I'll compromise, I'll make concessions in order to stay in the game.
Okay, so I guess in my head it says that the same situation, the player's not playing as much, in order to compromise, maybe if we have a certain amount of lead, I'm going to put that player in regardless of the outcome, or maybe we are losing and we know we're not going to, or we don't feel like we're going to win the set, so I'll put that player in, or I'll just find whatever opportunity to get that player play time regardless. As a parent, I say, hey, whatever you can do to help my kid out here, we just need to get them a little bit of time, so on and so forth. And so really it's not the concept of my player has earned the play time. We're kind of compromising, we're giving it to them regardless of that concept. And so we're all kind of just accepting a lower level of of ability.
Yeah, we're
to
accepting
do
lower
it.
level outcomes, we're looking lower level in relationships, all in order to just get something out of it. Now, this, what we're talking about right now, is a 40,000 foot overview. It gives us a big picture perspective. At the end of this course, we're going to break it down into a lot more detail. We're going to talk about the skills associated with each. We're going to talk about the critical drivers of each, and we're going to talk about the tactics of each. Both so you'll know how to use them, and also know how to protect yourself against those that are inappropriate.
Okay. So the invitation to you, your assignment from this, is to pick a relationship that maybe you have a problem with right now. Maybe it's with a coach, maybe it's with a teammate, maybe it's with your parents or parents with your children, or whatever the case is. Pick that and then figure out, how do you want to solve this problem? Do you want to collaborate? Do you want to be adversaries, or do you want to compromise? And I think if you can pick which one you want to do and you can see the different paths, you'll always want to choose to collaborate, because in that case everyone wins, everyone's working together, and it just feels amazing.
Great. Our next session, we're going to talk about expectations.